Hello everybody, I'm David here, and welcome back to the Chilling3000 Network here on this next episode of Chilling3000 Hangouts. I hope everybody is having a great Valentine's Day here today, on this hump day here, on the 14th of February 2024. And in this episode of Chilling3000 Hangouts, we are going to be interviewing a podcaster, baseball fan, and also a Dodger fan. He is Sarah Betts. He is from Charlotte, and in this interview, we are not only going to be talking about what he does for his projects, how he got into them, and all that stuff, but also we are going to be talking to him about his thoughts about hopefully Charlotte will get and more of an expansion in years to come, and other cool stuff as well around the MLB and of course the Dodgers' big off season with their $1 billion 2024 off-season payroll with Otani, Tamano Romano. And speaking of that pitcher I just mentioned, I don't know if he can before he got signed the Dodgers or after the Dodgers signed him because we filmed this on December 18th, which I mentioned in that interview. Because, like I said, with the awards show, that was still in the planning process, and I wanted that to be the first episode, or first episode anyway, of That Knows. And I just want to get interviews ready for 2024 and like this stuff, which I do plan to do the same thing next week, hopefully, is to book interviews for 2024 next month. Next week, excuse me. But only time will tell with that. But I would say, speaking of next week, I want to get some things with this program, as there's no topics here for this episode of Chilling3000 Hangouts. All I gotta say is pictures and captures season here. But with no topics, I don't want to mention a few things with this program. Next week, there will be no episodes of Chilling3000 Hangouts because it is my February break, and I want to have all time to myself, with other fun things, and I do need a week off after the past few weeks. And hopefully next week I'll be able to record some other interviews for the next month of March and so on. So that I will be doing next week. So there will be no episodes of Chilling3000 Hangouts next week. But we will be back the following week, which is going to be on February 28th for the next episode of Chilling3000 Hangouts. So I just want to let you guys know that. And also some other news as for this channel. Sometime later this month, we are going to be doing some pilot episodes of some game shows that will be premiering here in 2024 if they're successful. I won't say what game shows, but one of them we filmed there earlier this year, and hopefully we'll be able to have time to film by the end of this month or next month. No matter what, sometime by May. But all I know is we are going to be finishing up some game shows here this month, and also, speaking of the game shows, next week I do plan to, with the Moneyball, Hanging Envelope, and Davis Punch a Bunch, with those three shows, I am going to be working on next week doing the intros, outros for those shows, and then after that I am going to be working on the format for those shows because I'll be changing maybe one or two of the shows formats, and of course with the backgrounds and everything. But and then after that, I'll start filming next month to air in the summertime because every 4 years, every leap year, we are going to be airing those three shows in the summertime. So hope you're looking forward to that, and that's going to be it here for this video. Thank you all so much. Well, it's not over yet, but for this part of the video, and I hope you all enjoy the interview with Sarah Betts. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with our next guest here on Chilling3000 Hangouts. Please welcome, I hope I can pronounce this right, Charlotte Betts. Am I correct?
Yep, Charlotte Bass, or you can call me Rick. Rick Curdy is my name. So hope everyone's doing well.
Yes, and I hope you're having a great holiday season here so far as well as you're filming this. So, would you like to tell us about yourself there, Rick.
Well, my name is Rick Curdy. I'm originally from Los Angeles, California, so a group of Dodgers fans. I
Mm,
moved to Charlotte in 2006, and when I came out here, I realized Charlotte has a lot going on. But the one thing I didn't understand what we didn't have was Major League Baseball, because I've lived in places like Las Vegas or medium-sized cities that were similar to,
oh, hold on. I think you pressed the wrong button. Oh,
and
there he is back.
there we go. And so I just said, why doesn't Charlotte have Major League Baseball? We got the Panthers, we got the Hornets, we got the Hurricanes in Raleigh.
Yes.
We even have a AAA team that has one of the best stadiums in all of minor league baseball, and we could support it. There's nothing. South Carolina doesn't have a team.
Nope.
There's no team in Tennessee right now. There's no team in Virginia. There's no team. I mean, we're 4.5 hours away from Atlanta. We're 10 hours away from Washington D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Maryland's right there. I mean, and we're a transplant. We have so many transplants here. Nobody's from Charlotte, so we have a lot of Yankee fans here, a lot of Dodger fans, a lot of Pittsburgh Pirate fans. We even have
Mm.
fans, Blue Jay fans. We have people here from Canada live out here. So I just thought this was a great place to have MLB, and I'm so excited that the commissioner of Major League Baseball has us on the short list for expansion.
Yes, and what do you expect for that to happen?
Well, the first two things that the commissioner wanted was to to move the A's to Las Vegas. That was always going to
Yes.
happen. That was something the Major League Baseball wanted to have. With all the online gaming, it makes total sense. That's why Las Vegas now has hockey and they got
Yes.
NFL. So it makes perfect sense. So now we all know that the A's are officially going to be moved to Las Vegas. So the other step was to get a stadium in Tampa Bay, and
Yeah.
they announced that they are going to get a stadium in St. Petersburg. I think they should put it in Tampa Bay. I just don't think St. Petersburg's a good spot. I don't understand why they want to build it in Tampa Bay, but they are going to get a new stadium. So now with those two things officially done, they're going to expand. We hear Nashville's going to get a team, maybe called the Nashville Stars. But you hear Salt Lake City, you've heard Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
I know Portland's on the list. Las Vegas is not on there no more now that the A's are moving there.
Yep.
And I think Vancouver's on there as well. So the list is totally shortened. When it first came out, San Antonio's on the list, Oklahoma, New Jersey. Those
New
places
Jersey.
are
New
yeah,
Jersey would be great if I'm being honest.
yeah, and they can have a rivalry with New York, but I haven't heard about New
Yeah.
Jersey anymore. So we're
Mm.
one of six cities they're looking at, and I'm excited by it.
Yes, and speaking of Tampa, the Rays will be uh, in the drop until the end of 2027 and have it ready by opening day 2028, just so FYI for those listening. And I guess that makes a little coincidence there that also the Las Vegas A's will also start their new era in the same year 2028 as well.
Yeah,
So in 4 years in Major League Baseball, you will get both the Las Vegas A's and the Rays new stadium.
yeah.
The big question is though, will an expansion team happen in 2028 as well? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, expansion will happen. I mean, they want to see it happen. I mean, I think by that time it should happen. I mean, those two things that they were waiting for to happen are finally happening, and so I think once they start building the stadium in St. Petersburg, I think that's when the ball will really get rolling. They want to see what happens. We've heard so many talks about Tampa Bay getting a stadium. It'll fall through, then it'll happen. It'll fall through. No, we're going
Yeah.
to put it in Tampa. No, we're going to put it in Orlando. We keep hearing all these things changing all the time. I think once they finally are building that stadium in St. Petersburg or Tampa or wherever they want to build it, then you're going to see so much movement, and be hearing about Nashville. You'll be hearing about Charlotte, Portland, Salt Lake City, and all those other places.
Do you think the Montreal Expos will make a comeback?
That guy, that's such a good question. I know they could support it, and I know that when they left, I mean, that was not the fans that left them. That was more the ownership. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they would have to build a
Maybe
new
as
stadium. Olympic Stadium is really outdated. I know when I used to watch Dodger games and and they would go to the Montreal. That stadium was not the greatest in the world, even at that time. And right now, it would be so. With all these modern stadiums right now, it would really be a bad stadium. So they would have to build a stadium.
yeah,
But I would like to see a team. I think it would be great to see another team in Canada so they can have a rivalry with Toronto. So do I see it happening? They would have to build a new stadium for that to happen.
I agree, and it is an onslaught too because the Blue Jays are the face of Canada.
Hmm.
So especially with Bob Guerrero Jr. there as well, and they're big. And they almost got Otani, which we'll get into that in a moment. But um, they're just the face of Canada, and um, in my opinion, do I see the Expos making a comeback? I hope so, but it's a very long shot with the Blue Jays doing their thing. A threat to the AL East for a small period of time now in this decade, and this is they're the face of MLB in Canada, so nothing can
Yeah,
change things right now.
and they have Vancouver on this list. I thought it was interesting to have Vancouver. So
Yeah,
we'll, maybe they can't get the Expos. Maybe they can get a team in Vancouver.
maybe. Um, so before we get to the Otani stuff, would you like to tell us what do you do for a living and also for YouTube or podcast wise?
Well, I'm the founder and CEO of the Charlotte Bats. We're a grassroots organization to bring Major League Baseball to Charlotte. This is something that I wanted to do because Charlotte's a great city. We've never ever had Major League Baseball in the state of North Carolina ever,
Yeah.
and so we can support it totally. It's exploded. The city has exploded like crazy. So I just go around. I try to do podcasts. We're gonna have an online store opening up on our website at www.charlottebats.com, and we're gonna have T-shirts and hats. Later on, jerseys. So it's gonna be like sort of like a soft, uh, sale for right now. We just changed our logo. We changed it like a couple times. We just want to get it right,
Hmm.
and we're really really excited about this, and we're really excited that finally someone in Major League Baseball has seen that Charlotte is really a great place to have Major League Baseball.
And that would be you. Um, so would you like to tell us the podcast name and YouTube channel name?
Was it the podcast name?
Yeah, and also the YouTube channel as well.
Okay, Charlotte Bats. I mean yours or mine?
Oh, your YouTube channel's name along with the
Oh,
podcast.
just
Yes.
Charlotte Bats.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's Charlotte Bats, CLT Bats. My email CLT at Bats. Everything I do is Charlotte Bats. That's who I am, and that's kind of like what I'm known for here in Charlotte. So, like I
Okay.
said, very exciting times. We've been waiting for so long for this to finally happen. We already knew Oakland was moving to Las Vegas. That was no shocker, and Tampa definitely had to build a stadium.
Oh yeah.
I think that stadium is probably, to me, it's the worst stadium in baseball
A
now
lot
that
of people have said
Oakland's
that
moving.
for a long
Yeah,
time.
so we'll see. We're excited though.
What do people expect in your podcast?
Just to give people updates about what we're doing. When people ask me, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And I say, well, it's up to Major League Baseball. I have no say in it. All I can tell you is that the two stumbling blocks have already happened. Oakland's moving to Las Vegas. Tampa's getting a new stadium. So now we just have to wait and see. They're going to expand by two. There's so many things in the works right now. We heard that maybe Baltimore, but they just signed a lease. I know
Yes, yeah,
Milwaukee.
30
Yeah,
years.
yeah, they're gonna stay there for like 30 years now, though. So that was a rumor. They might have
Yeah.
relocated. I know Milwaukee. We're trying to get some updates on their stadium, and the public had to pay for it. And there was rumors that they might move to Nashville or Charlotte, and I think that's not going to happen anymore either. So there's always some things happening. So I just tell people, will Charlotte get Major League Baseball? Absolutely. When is it going to happen? We'll see.
Do you do any interviews that on your podcast that people will expect?
Yeah, I mean, I've interviewed some people. You know, I mostly kind of just do it myself. You know, I've had people ask me like send me questions or
Okay.
and it's always like when will Charlotte get a team or what do you think about Raleigh? And I know the guy that's trying to bring a Major League Baseball team to Raleigh. Raleigh's a great place. I've always said if Charlotte never got the team and they went to Raleigh, I would support it 100% because it's in the state of North Carolina. I just believe Charlotte's the best place because we're the largest city in the state of North Carolina. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
already have the pro teams here. So to me, it would just be the most logical place. But Raleigh's a great place. You know, I kind of just tell people the truth. You know, just I don't
Yeah.
sugarcoat anything. If they ever ask me about Nashville, I say Nashville's a great place. You know, I could totally see an MLB team there. They'll get Major League Baseball, no doubt. So, but my thing is just to promote Major League Baseball in the state of North Carolina, and just
Right.
kind of just you know see what we can do.
Probably might be a dumb question, but I was just saying just for giggles. Do you think Connecticut can actually get a Major League Baseball team? And I know it's not. I know I don't think it's gonna happen. I just want to know your thoughts on that.
You said Connecticut?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's too close
Yeah.
to Massachusetts. I know. I have friends in Connecticut. They're all like Red Sox fans.
And
So
Yankees fans too, as well.
yeah. So I think it's a little too close.
Yeah.
You know. So it would
What about
be
a hamster?
yeah, I mean, my mom's from New Mexico, and she always asks me, "Why doesn't New Mexico have a team?" And I say, "Well, I think it's because one, it's a smaller state, and then two, it's so close to Texas, and you have Denver there. So I have family in New Mexico, and a lot of them are either Bronco fans or Rocky fans, or they're Ranger fans, or Houston Astro
Yeah.
fans. So it's so close by. It would be like I always tell her it would be like Charlotte getting an MLB team, and then South Carolina saying, "Well, we're going to get MLB too," and they're like, "Well, that's not going to work because it's so close to Charlotte and to North Carolina, so that's probably not going to happen." So it would most likely be Charlotte. So there are a
Okay.
lot of great cities. I would love to see Major League Baseball in every single state.
Yeah.
I would love that, but realistically, we know that's not going to happen. I don't see a
Yeah.
team like in Alaska, or I don't see a team in Hawaii,
Oh
or
yeah.
like
Cincinnati.
West Virginia. I don't see a MLB team coming to West Virginia, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah. And as for Hawaii, that is a long ways away. That is like not even Pacific or Central or Eastern time, so it'll be
I
impossible.
think it's like 6 hour difference,
Yeah.
and it's
Uh,
really really expensive to live out there as well.
yeah. So that's not gonna happen.
No.
Major League Baseball can't do that, unfortunately. But anyway, let's go over the Shohei Otani news that has broke a little over a week ago now. 10 years, $700 million for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Um, as a Dodgers fan, what is was this a not a surprise, or were you actually surprised that they actually got it done?
No, I wasn't really surprised. I thought originally he would go to the Yankees. I thought, with that short porch there, he'll hit 60 home runs. It's in New York. I knew he'd go to a big team. I was I never saw him going to the Blue Jays or the Orioles.
Almost
Or,
dead though.
yeah, I always thought he's gonna go to a big city, and I mean and so when it was coming closer, I said he's gonna go to the Dodgers. I mean it's like he doesn't have to leave the state. He can
Yeah.
live in the same house. He doesn't have to go to the DMV and change his driver's license, and he's gonna go on a better, much better team. That wins 100 games every year, that goes to the playoffs. Whether they win a World Series, they always come up short. That's always the thing with the Dodgers, always come up short, but they did win one during the pandemic. But it was no surprise that he went there. The money was no surprise. You knew that they were going to overpay him. You knew he was going to get all this money. Is he worth it? I mean, nobody's worth that much money. I don't care if you're Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. But that's just what the
I
going
agree.
rate is. And one day we're going to see someone getting $1 billion. So this is like nothing. And what's so smart about it is that he's only going to get paid $2 million a year. All the
Yep.
rest will be deferred, so he'll be getting money till he's like 100 years old.
Yeah, and probably a lot more money after his retirement as well.
Yeah.
Um, because not just because of you know the Dodgers, usually put pays all stars after they retire, but also because of his merch and everything from Japan,
Oh yeah. And the
advertisements,
sponsors, he makes probably like
sponsors.
3 times in commercials. Not
Yes,
only here but in Japan. Japan, he's like Babe Ruth. I mean, he's just a rock star out there. So
yes, indeed. And what do you think? Do you think he could play the outfield in the near future for the Dodgers? Instead of DH.
yeah, I think so. I think they would like experiment with him out there and put him in the outfield sometimes. If not DH, a lot of they probably prefer him to be in the DH role because you can always get injured in the outfield and
Yeah,
and stuff like that. And he's also had Tommy John surgery, so they want to save his arm. And if he's going to be pitching and hitting at the same time, I don't see him pitching this year because he just had Tommy John surgery.
he's
You
not going to
know,
pitch this upcoming
yeah.
season.
So, if I was the Dodgers, I would just make him a hitter. I mean, he's had two Tommy John surgeries. I know he's a great pitcher, but eventually, pitching and hitting, it's gonna tear on. It's gonna the wear and tear on you. So, I mean, if the Dodgers are smart and they are, I think I would just make him a DH hitter. Let him hit 40, 50 home runs a year, win MVPs. Hopefully, bring a World Series. Hopefully, he's the piece they need to win a World Series. And they're loaded. They got Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Otani. You know, I
They
heard that
just got they just
yeah,
got the glass now.
yeah, and I heard that maybe they might get another Japanese pitcher coming
Yeah,
there. I mean, that's the thing about baseball. There's no salary cap, so you can spend, spend, spend all you want. And if you got deep pockets like the Dodgers, why not? I know a lot of people don't like it, but I've always believed they should put a salary cap in baseball to even the playing field. I mean, it's just
yeah,
not fair for the Dodgers. It's not fair for cities like Pittsburgh and
Harfield,
Kansas
yeah.
City to compete with Dodgers and Yankees or even Red Sox.
Yes. What do what do you think um about the Dodgers this upcoming season as of right now with Otani only hitting? Do you think they'll still be a spectacular team? Do you, as of right now, let's say this roster on as we're recording this December 20th, 2023. If this is the roster we have for opening day, which I know it's not going to be, but I'm just saying as of right now, are they a World Series favorite despite their pitching not being 100% healthy?
Absolutely. All the pressures on the Dodgers. Last year, I really thought they'd take a step back, and to me, they were a surprise there too because they won over 100 games. They looked fantastic last year, and I really thought they would struggle since they lost. They lost Seager. They lost so many great players there, and they really rejuvenated themselves going somewhere else. So I just thought the Dodgers last year would take a step back, and they didn't. Now with Otani, I mean, they should win 100 games. They should win that division by like 20 games. So the question is, can they win a World Series? Because that's always been their Achilles heel. And I know they won one, but that was during the pandemic when they only played 50 games. Can they win a World Series in a 162 game season? And that's the question. They've come up short. So as a Dodger fan, I want them to win a World Series. Um, I hope it happens. We'll see, but are they going
Yeah.
to be better? Absolutely. I mean, if they don't win 100 games or nothing like that, they'll be a big disappointment.
So you don't think the 2020 World Series was legit, despite all the super teams that they had to go through the postseason without the protocols?
Yeah, I've always said, they won it during the pandemic, the 50-game season. Uh,
60,
yeah, yeah.
60
So,
game season.
yeah, 60 games. So, you know, on paper, did they win it? Yeah, but you know what? When they open the books up, I think they should have an asterisk, and on the bottom it should say during COVID, during a 60-game short season. So, I mean, not to take anything away, but to me, it just doesn't feel right. I want to see them win it during a regular season, and unfortunately, they just come up short during a regular season. And I think that's what will be the talk. There, this should be a dynasty. They should have won at least two or three
Yeah,
World
yeah,
Series, and they're not a dynasty. I've always called them the Buffalo Bills of Major League Baseball
yeah.
because it seems like every time they get down to the finish line, they come up short. So, to me, winning that World Series, honestly, I would have an asterisk towards it.
Interesting. What do you say that about the Astros, despite the cheating scandal and also winning World Series in 2022 after that, and back two pennants during after 2017. Do you think that's 2017 was an asterisk? But then again, they won the World Series in 2022.
Yeah.
So you say an asterisk for the Dodgers, but for my best bet, not the Astros too.
Oh, the Astros definitely. I mean, they should have had their World Series stripped away. They should have
Mm,
been fined. They should have been suspended. Manfred handled it so poorly. He's actually came out and said that he wished he handled it better. I mean, nobody got
mm,
fined. Nobody got suspended. You keep your World Series. So you're kind of showing people that it's okay to cheat. Now, the recent one they won with Dusty Baker, that's legit because all those
yeah,
people were gone. They needed to bring a face like Dusty Baker. I'm happy for Dusty Baker that he won. It's unfortunate he won it for the Astros. I hate the Astros, but I mean I'm happy for him because he's such a wonderful manager
yes,
that that's all he needed in his resume. Even without the World Series, to me he would be a Hall of Famer. But now it's that he's definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame. But the first
yes,
World Series they won, no, they cheated. It should have been taken away. I mean, they took it away
yeah.
from the Louisville Cardinals when Rick Pitino was, doing all these recruiting violations. They got their title stripped away. So why shouldn't the Astros?
What season was that for the Cardinals?
Uh,
Mhm.
what was the year? Was it like 2009, 10, something like that?
You mean 2011? They won the World Series. The
I mean the
Cardinals.
Astros, yeah. I mean the first
Yeah,
the first
the
World
Cardinals.
Series.
The Cardinals won the World Series in 2011. If
No,
that's
I was talking about the Louisville Cardinals, the basketball team, college basketball team.
oh, I'm sorry. I thought you
No,
were
it's
talking.
okay. Yeah, I know there's too many Cardinal teams. I actually wanted to call them. I actually, when I came up with the Charlotte Bats, I actually wanted to call them the Charlotte Cardinals because the Cardinals are the state bird of North Carolina. But then I thought, well, there's too many Cardinal names, so let's go with Bats.
Yeah, I was just like, wait, did I miss something? But the Cardinals did.
Yeah, there's
No, no.
Arizona Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals,
Yeah,
Louisville Cardinals, Stanford Cardinals. Too many Cardinals.
yep. So my next question is okay. Who is your favorite player for the Dodgers right now? I don't think I
Oh,
told you.
oh, I love Freddie Freeman. I mean, I love
Yes,
him. Now, we're so close to Atlanta, and I'm not a Braves fan. I was a Braves fan when I was younger, when they had Dale Murphy and Terry Pennell, all those great players.
the
Maddox is
maidens.
my favorite player of all time. But right now it's Freddie Freeman. That guy is amazing. He's from Southern California. I'm glad he's with the Dodgers. That guy is just a great player, and seeing him play, you know,
Mm,
now that I'm in North Carolina, he was so close to North Carolina. You see a lot of them, when he was with Atlanta,
yeah.
and I went to Dodger Stadium not too long ago last year. I go every year in August, see family.
Okay.
And he's amazing to watch. He does everything. He fields, he hits home runs, he hits for average. You don't see these players hit for average. All these guys want to hit 500-foot home runs, but yet, they have like 250 batting averages and they're happy. Now he hits like over 300. I could see him winning. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he won a triple crown. He's that good. So, but Freddie Freeman is my favorite.
Yeah, I bet he gets the triple crown one of these years. Um, he's a player that you want on your roster to start a team, and he's a true leader, and he he's a winner, and he's a fantastic first baseman.
Absolutely.
Everything you want as part of first baseman. So my next question is, Summit Multimedia, those guys. Um, yeah, have you been on this show before? I thought you were. on this show before. Am I correct?
What is it?
Were you on Snowman Multimedia's show before?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, what day was that? So I can check that. Or
It was a while ago. I can't remember. I know during the
okay.
it was like before the pandemic and all that.
Okay. Um. So what what do you think the Dodgers can well actually I'll ask yeah, I'll ask this question first and then I'll ask you about another team. What players do you think the Dodgers can add to this roster to improve a little bit more?
Well, I think they need to get some pitching. I think that. I mean, Kershaw is great and all, but he's getting older. But I
Yeah.
think we can get some pitching. I like to see that Japanese player that Otani played for his old teammate come to the Dodgers. That's the thing about Major League Baseball. No salary cap. You spend as much as you want. And so I like
Hold on a moment, folks.
will do well. So I think pitching, we need to straighten up the pitching. The hitting is going to be there. Middle relief is good. If we can get like a good starter, um, that'd be
Alright.
great.
What about other than the Japanese? Yamato, I don't know, I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah, I can't pronounce their names.
Uh, what about other than him? Who else is out there on the pitching free agent or trade market you think will be good for the Dodgers?
Well, I mean, like I said, I honestly, I love to see like Justin Verlander come there. I think they need some
Despite
veteran.
the Astros scandal?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think he's a great pitcher because he was with Detroit too. So I mean, he's
Oh,
not
yes.
part of that. So he can win. He don't need to cheat to win. He's a great player.
Also, on the Mets for a short period of time last
Yeah.
year, but
So I don't know what's the deal with him. I don't know if he's gonna retire or not. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame pitcher to me. I think they need some good veteran leadership there. He would be a good veteran leader. He's won before. He's won a World Series before recently. Um, and I think people, I don't link him with the Astros cheating at all. He was with Detroit, and so I don't link him
mm,
with that at all. All those people are gone.
yeah.
I think the way they handled it with the Astros, to me, they should have gotten the World Series taken away. But that's just my opinion. But I like to see
Mhm.
like a Verlander, Scherzer. I like Scherzer a lot too. I don't know if he's the same anymore. I don't know if Father Time is.
He was on your Dodgers team before
Yeah, he was with them.
2021.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I like to maybe one of those two guys there. I don't know if Scherzer's the same. He might be Father Time might be caught up to him or not. But like in a short term, win a World Series. I like to see those two guys maybe.
My next question is: do you think the Padres, with all their little talent that just recently, um, you know, got traded solo to the Yankees,
Hmm.
do you think um, the Padres can still, despite their uncertainty 2023 season results, do you think they can get back to being postseason contentions and maybe even a threat to your Dodgers?
Oh God, it's so hard because they've been such a disappointment. Last year they were a disappointment. I think the Padres. I think getting rid of Soto was good. They need to get rid of him. They need to get some draft picks. I just think they have way too many superstars. I think they have a lot of young individuals who care about their stats.
Yeah,
It reminded me of the Mets when they had Bobby Bonilla and Eddie Murray and Vince Coleman and all this dream team, and they were terrible. The chemistry is just not good there. I think, and I can see why Bob Melvin left for the Giants. Now they got a new manager who's actually from Charlotte. I'm rooting for him. I hope he does well. Do I think they'll contend with the Dodgers? No, I don't think so. I think they'll be, I mean, maybe a wild card, maybe I don't know, but do I see them like competing against Dodgers? No, Dodgers are just too explosive. The Padres, I just think they have a lot of immaturity problems. They had Hosmer on there, and to me, Hosmer
Yeah,
was that veteran guy there that they had, and ever
I don't
since
know
they
why they
traded him
got rid of
away,
him.
they have become very they seem very spoiled, like they expect to win and all that stuff. I think when they traded Hosmer away, that was a big mistake because even though he wasn't the same player as he was with the Royals, he was that veteran leader that they needed, that maturity that they needed. And ever since he left, they act like a bunch of spoiled young brats, especially Machado, who throws his tantrums and gets upset because he was. I mean, it's like the rules. You can't be in the batter's box too long. You broke the rules, and he's hollering and screaming and throwing his helmet. That's the kind of stuff that's hurting the Padres. That immaturity. That they got some veteran leadership there, and I think they got the right manager. I think they could be like maybe a wild card team, but I don't see them passing the Dodgers at all.
Yes, aka Mike Silt. Um,
Yes,
so who was part of the Cardinals organization.
great manager,
Yep,
and
was
and a native of Charlotte, North Carolina, by the way. So I'm
yes
rooting for
indeed.
him.
So we'll see what he can bring to the table to the Padres in 2024. So anyway, that's gonna be it for this interview here. Do you have anything else you wanted to promote?
No, just you can go on my website. We actually have a petition on there. So our website is www.charlottebats.com. You can go on there on our front page. There's a petition, and to our viewers, go on there, sign it, pass it on to your friends. Tell us about this cool guy that wants to bring MLB to Charlotte, and you can see me on Facebook at Charlotte MLB Charlotte, Charlotte Bats. I'm on Instagram at Charlotte Bats, LinkedIn under Rick Curdy, and my email address is cltbatsbaseball@gmail.com if people want to know more about us and what we're doing.
And before we go, what else do you have coming up in 2024 that people can expect from you?
Well, right now we're working on our website. We're working on an online store. We got some new shirts. I'm gonna get some hats. Eventually, we'll progress to jerseys. So right now, I'm kind of working on those things right now, and probably do some more interviews and get the word out. Now that it's official that Oakland's winning Las Vegas and Tampa's gonna get a new stadium, we'll see what happens. But like I said, once Tampa starts building that stadium and it's done, you're going to be hearing a lot of stuff about expansion. You'll be hearing a lot about Nashville and Charlotte and Portland and Salt Lake City and all these other places. So stay tuned.
You mean Portland, Maine, right?
Oregon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they want a Portland, Oregon is on that list. Not Maine. I think
Yeah.
another beautiful state that I like
Yes.
to say an MLB team, but unfortunately I don't see that happening. Too
I,
close to
I wish
Boston.
as well.
A lot of Red Sox fans there. I know Stephen
Yeah.
King's from Maine, and he's a big Red Sox fan. So a lot of those Maine
Mm.
people are Red Sox fans.
I wish men can have a team, but unfortunately that can't be. But thank you for doing this, and you know, uh, thank you very much.
Thank you, and have a good day.
Yes, indeed. And hope you all enjoyed that interview. Thank you so much for Sorry Bads for agreeing to do this interview. It means a lot. Help support this program with a lot of great interviews I've been doing on this show for the past few years, and I really enjoy doing these interviews because it helps me get to know more people out there that does great things for our entertainment, fun times, and also not only that, but also it's interesting to learn more about their backgrounds as not only a creator but as a person as well. So that's why I love doing these interviews, and I hope you guys do as well. And guys, gonna be it here for this episode of 3000. I will see you all here next 2 weeks on the 28th of February. Who knows? I might change it to the 29th, but we'll see. Um, but all kidding aside, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next 2 weeks at the very least. And happy catchers and baseball. Excuse me. Happy pitchers and catchers season. Also Valentine's Day. don't forget to subscribe to the David 1000 Network for more great content like this one.